Chief Emeka had a vision as big as the sky above Banyo. He wasn't like the old chiefs in their traditional regalia. Emeka wore a crisp, white shirt and spoke a language that mixed French, English, and the confident swagger of a man who knew his time had come. His dream was the Mboa Tower, a skyscraper so tall it would touch the digital clouds, a symbol that Banyo was not just a city but a hub of the future. By his side, always, was Adana, his fiancée and a brilliant engineer. She was the calm to his storm, the one who translated his grand dreams into sensible blueprints. He would often say, "The sky is our limit, my non," and the entire city felt it too. The third part of their perfect triangle was Kojo, Emeka's childhood friend and the chief architect. Kojo was the quiet one, the deep thinker who saw the poetry in concrete and steel. The entire community, from the fishermen on the coast to the traders in the highlands, contributed to the project. They worked with one mind and one heart, speaking a single language of hope and ambition. The foundation was blessed with cheers and prayers, and the people of Banyo believed their chief's promise was as solid as the ground beneath their feet. As the Mboa Tower began to rise, the real work happened in the late hours. While Emeka was busy with political rallies and investor dinners, Adana and Kojo were buried in their work. They would spend hours in a small, dusty office on the construction site, their heads bent over blueprints. Emeka saw their work as a reflection of his own greatness, but the truth was, Adana was finding a different kind of connection with Kojo. Their conversations were about more than just the tower. They spoke of fear and doubt, of the immense pressure of living up to Emeka's colossal vision. One night, Kojo pointed to a specific section of the design. "This part," he whispered, a serious expression on his face, "it's yamo, a problem. It's not stable enough for the strong winds we get here." Adana's eyes widened. They couldn't tell Emeka, he was a man who hated to be told he was wrong. They began a secret mission, poring over the plans to fix the flaw without Emeka's knowledge. It was a silent code, a secret they shared, a trust that was born not of romantic love, but of a professional and heartfelt fear for their city. The whisper started subtly, a rumor passed from one worker to another, carried by the hot wind. People began to see Adana and Kojo in new ways. Why are they always together? Why do they stay so late in that office? Emeka, blinded by the grandeur of his own success, initially laughed it off. He'd walk in, see them walking, and with a clap on Kojo's back, he'd say, "On any put poliva lotet de kwekon ka ene po de tet, you can't wash the head of a headless person." He has no mind for such things. He was certain Kojo was just a devoted workhorse. But one day, the whispers became too loud. A close aide, whose brother was working on the site, fed Emeka the gossip with a malicious grin. "Chief, Legend Elnoda, money has an odor, but so does a lie. They are always together." Emeka stormed to the office. He found them not in an embrace, but in a moment of quiet, shared concern, Kojo's hand gently touching Adana's arm as he pointed to a calculation. The intimate gesture, born of shared professional anxiety, was a knife to Emeka's heart. He saw not a colleague's comfort, but a lover's touch. The foundation of the tower was strong, but the foundation of his trust was now shattered glass. In a fit of public rage, Emeka lashed out. He accused Adana and Kojo of a great betrayal, not just of his heart, but of the city's dream. He called Kojo a snake, banishing him from Banyo, and he publicly shamed Adana, his former fiancée. But his most devastating decree came next. He declared that each of the main construction teams would now operate independently, using their own dialect and different, newly assigned blueprints. The bricklayers, speaking only in Ewondo, would use their own measurements. The steelworkers, communicating solely in Bassa, would follow a different design. The electricians, who spoke Fofoda, would adhere to a third set of plans. He believed this would prevent any future conspiracies, ensuring no one could chop money or plot behind his back. The people, once united by a single vision, were now broken into fragments. The collective, joyful noise of construction was replaced by a bewildered and resentful silence, a monument to a leader who, in his rage, had torn apart the very fabric of his community. The chaos was instant and catastrophic. The bricklayers, following their new Iwando plans, built walls that didn't align with the steel framework the Basel team was installing. The electricians, working from their Fufuda blueprints, installed wiring that made no sense in the context of the other team's work. The tower, once a symbol of unity, now became a towering mess. One foreman, gesturing wildly to a colleague who couldn't understand him, simply threw his hands up and walked off the site. The different teams began to openly clash, unable to even argue with each other due to the language barrier. The Mboa Tower, a beautiful dream, was now a grotesque, spiraling nightmare, a twisted mix of mismatched ideas and incompatible designs. The lower half, built under the original unified plan, stood as a sad reminder of what could have been. The upper half was a physical manifestation of Emeka's broken pride, a chaotic sculpture of a leader's unforgiving heart. With the tower on the verge of collapse, Adana, now an outcast, decided she had to act. She went to Emeka's compound, not to plead for his love, but for the life of the city. She presented him with the box she and Kojo had been hiding, the original, deeply flawed blueprints. There was no love affair, she said, her voice shaking but firm. There was a fatal flaw in Kojo's design, and you, in your pride, refused to listen to him. We were working in secret to fix it. This box holds the new, safe plan. She showed him the detailed calculations and the safer, stronger design they had been working on. Emeka's heart sank as he finally understood. The betrayer wasn't Adana and Kojo's affair. The true betrayer was his own blind, unforgiving pride. Kojo's banished silence was not guilt, but a painful sacrifice. The tower, teetering precariously, was a powerful, silent sermon, a grand reminder that sometimes the biggest flaw is not in the design, but in the heart of the one building it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos just like this.